Greetings from Nairobi. My name is Pauline Nza. I'm the country lead for the Future First Kenya project.
And hi, my name is Abby and I'm the CEO of Future First Global. In the next few minutes, we'll be looking to do three things. Firstly, explain why we believe that alumni communities are important to invest in. Secondly, looking at some of the successes of where we've come from in the last couple of years. And finally, looking at the three different project areas for what we'd like to be doing next.
I think alumni are a gold mine that every school is sitting on. They are a local resource, people who understand the communities, people who've been through the school system, and their propensity to give back is incredible. When we started at Mild School in the UK, there wasn't a history of giving back here, but when you look at people's willingness to give back in countries like Kenya and Ghana, Sierra Leone and Rwanda, it means that this is an opportunity to do something of an epic scale.
Dr. Fred Matiang'i, the Cabinet Secretary for the Ministry of Education, Science and Technology, has commended the creation of the Association of Alumni Communities in Kenya as a key bridge that will enable Kenyans to go back and give back to their former schools.
So many people are willing to give back to community. Sometimes the challenge we have is that we don't have a mature infrastructural framework that manages this giving. So in us taking responsibility and being involved in our institutions, we are bringing in the civic perspective, which will enhance accountability, which will enhance, of course, transparency, which, and for me, is most important, will enhance the space for dialogue. Instruct our Director General of the Ministry of Education to immediately take your institution forward as part of our critical programs so that you can interface with our directly.
Yeah, listening to the alumni inspire me because, for example, there's one who came. He advised me on different careers that I can choose maybe when I join the university next year.
My name is Nicholas Odhiambo. As I told you, I'm the treasurer of the alumni. What we'll request is that once you're done with the school, Rapogi, look for the alumni because we are going to do so many things. Even the placement, once you're done with your university, I think there are so many old boys who can connect you to get one job or the other. So don't just go and disappear. Once you're done with Rapogi, look for the Old Boys Association so that you can register.
Kazikanoze Access and Future First Global over the past 5 months has introduced the alumni system in some of the schools in the country, and we've successfully trained 45 schools, and we've seen an increase in the number of schools that are engaging with the alumni. Schools are calling us for meetings. We've had alumni get involved in the career guidance of current students, and we're excited to see where this goes and what the future holds for these schools.
Our first project area is to build on the work we've been doing in Kenya for the last 4 years and take it to national scale. Under this piece of work, we intend to invest in 2 key areas. One is to capitalize on the ongoing ministerial support to embed alumni engagement in Kenyan schools. And in these components, we look to convene a government-mandated task force to look into the statutory and policy concern around alumni engagement, and also work closely with government as a technical lead in alumni programming in Kenyan schools. The second piece of work is to grow the National Association of Alumni Leaders, which is an umbrella body of alumni communities in Kenya that we launched in partnership with the Ministry of Education in May of 2017. Under this piece of work, we're looking to equip alumni leaders with the skill and the support they need to grow thriving alumni networks through our alumni leadership program. It has 2 components. One is a longer term training that looks into creating new alumni networks where they do not exist. The rest is just best box support and training of existing alumni networks. And we're looking over the next 3 years to engage, train at least 2,700 alumni leaders, which is roughly 30% of the Kenyan high schools.
Our second project area is to expand the work that we've been doing in Rwanda in partnership with the organisation Akazi Kanozi Access. We partnered with them earlier this year to do a feasibility study to test whether schools in Rwanda could benefit from alumni communities, and finding that they would, we designed a programme that they have then implemented through 46 schools across the country. The pilot's been hugely successful, and 3 months after the start, over 90% of the schools are have already made progress around building alumni communities. What we would be looking to do next is to expand this to 200 further schools, which would be expanding the programme by 400%. And we would do this in 3 ways. Firstly, we would look at different parts of the country and see how the model might differ depending on what the resources are and where the schools are situated. We then design a programme with Akazi Kanozi Access and then support Akazi Kanozi Access over the next 2 years to deliver that and support them to evaluate that programme throughout. The second part of what we would like to do in Rwanda is embedding alumni community building as part of the national curriculum and advocating to the Ministry of Education to do so. I know this sounds really ambitious, but Akazi Kanozi Access have already had that success of doing this with 2 or 3 other projects that they have been working with in the last 10 years, and so we're really excited and hopeful that we can make this work. Our third project area is more of an exploratory one. We'll be taking the learnings from both Kenya and Rwanda from over the last couple of years and combining these to see how we can expand our work further in Uganda and Tanzania. We will conduct a feasibility study looking at what the potential is for state secondary schools to build alumni communities, and then identify a partner with similar values to Future First Global to be able to implement that and take it to scale.
Over the last 12 months, Future First Global and Future First Kenya have really transformed from ideas into organisations, and indeed from organisations into movements. You can see what's happened in Kenya with the National Association of Alumni Associations growing out of nowhere, and the mass programs rolling out in Rwanda now through 2 different contracts there, in Sierra Leone, in Australia. It really feels like we've gone from a fantastic idea to an opportunity to really do something at scale.